upward movement.
Well, again, you look at his numbers. He's done well. He did well at great at Everett. Jackson, he hit the ball well. Tacoma struggled a little bit average-wise, but 11 home runs and 43 RBIs in 47 games. That's pretty strong. So, let's just give him a chance to settle in and not expect too much from him. This will be his first go tonight. The good news, Bonderman on the mound, somebody he's familiar with.
Out of 11 starts that Bonderman made down in AAA, Zunino caught 8 of them. Jeremy Bonderman will be opposed by young right-hander Jordan Lyles.
Lyles, 22 years old, former first-round pick of the Astros. A lot of expectation for him. Good fastball, 92, 93. Slider to the right-handers. We use a curveball to the lefties, but they like him a lot.
At this stage in the season, no one thought Raul Ibanez would be the leading home run hitter for the Mariners, but that's the fact check. 13th home run last night. Continues to lead the way. The veteran at 41 years old. What a run he's having. Mariners and Astros. First pitch is straight ahead.
I think his second start, we saw a guy who kind of was able to take a little bit of a step back. And the knowledge that he has gained from the past and, pitched a very, very strong ball.
By Ford, we are local. By Safeco Insurance, do more. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting comedian and star of the hit TV show Mike and Molly, Billy Gardell, June 22nd. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. And welcome back to Safeco Field. The series finale coming up between the Astros and Mariners. And in addition to getting at least 9 innings between those clubs tonight, keep you up to date on other action around Major League Baseball and also get you up to date on Dustin Ackley, who has been tearing it up at AAA Tacoma. Right now, for more on tonight's starter, Jeremy Bonderman, we send it back to Angie Mintic. Angie?
Tom, thanks so much. You can't believe it. It was over 1,000 days in between wins for tonight's starter, Jeremy Bonderman. He had to go back to 2010 for the last win, and then, of course, in his last start against the Yankees. Now, in between then, he had surgeries, a whole lot of rehab, and perspective gains. Still, when you get back to this major league level, it takes some time adjusting.
Ironically, it was his first outing was no different than are not much different than a guy who's a rookie. But just because of everything he had to put himself through to get back to that point, I think his second start, we saw a guy who kind of was able to take a little bit of a step back and regain his composure and use the knowledge that he has gained from the past, and pitched a very, very strong ball game against a really good New York team, and should bode well for his confidence. And you combine the confidence and knowledge and experience, we feel like there's no pressure, but the bar is raised. I mean, he's a guy that could have a good number of years ahead of him still.
Right now, we will just settle for a good start. He's making his first start against the Astros, the only other American League team that he has not faced, his former team, the Detroit Tigers. Let's get you out to center field. Brad and Bill, guys.
Hey, Jerry, thank you very much. Yeah, we talked about that bottom in the pregame show. Well, chronicled how he got back to the big league. So 2 starts, not a good one in Minnesota, a good one against the Yankees. Tell us the mistakes he made against Minnesota, how he corrected them, Bill, against the Yanks.
Yeah, I think there was obviously a lot of anxiety coming into the Minnesota Stars, put a lot of effort into getting back. But I think it was kind of Murphy's Law. Everything that could go wrong did, because he looked comfortable. He had rhythm. He was throwing strikes. But that Twins team, they're out over the plate on everything. You have to pitch in. And he was trying to establish sinker, slider away, and they had a heyday with him, going the opposite way. Left-handers hitting the sinker, hanging out over the plate. And then the Yankees, an opposite team, a team that's patient. And he went right at him like a bull in a china closet, established his 2-seam fastball, established his slider, used that 2-seamer as a swing pitch to the inside corner of the left-handers, and he was brilliant. So we'll see tonight. The Houston Astros, they're a pack of rats. He's going to have to land that slider, because if he gets behind the count and he's a 2-pitch guy, that could be a problem. But, they look like they're in for it tonight, so I think Jeremy will be just fine.
Yeah, they can do some damage, but they also strike out a whole lot, and they have not looked good so far in the set. Mariners going for the series sweep. It's Bonneman and Zunino up from Tacoma, reunited here together again at Safeco Field. Good luck for Zunino, and hi, Grandma. Yes, Dave and Mike back with first pitch and lineups here on Root Sports.
From the corner of Edgar and Dave, the Mariners look to get their first sweep of the season. In doing so, they would finish 6-4 in this homestand. Houston Astros in town to wrap things up here on this homestand for the Mariners. Welcome, everybody, to Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew. Dan Wilson's going to join us a little bit later. Beautiful night here, comfortable, ready for action. Jeremy Bonderman looking to win his second consecutive game. And this is the Major League debut of catcher Mike Zunino. First pitch in the bigs for Zunino. Swing and a miss by Jose Altuve. And we're underway.
Well, Dave, the Mariners have an opportunity to get their first sweep of the season.
Impressive.
Already won the series, and with a win tonight, they can win their first series sweep. Nice way to finish up the homestand. There's Mike Zunino making his first major league start. Again, the good news for him is he was able to catch Bonderman at the AAA level, so he's familiar with him. Should be comfortable.
First baseman Alex Liddy makes the play.
Take a look at the lineup for the Astros tonight. Just saw Altuve pop up to first. Then it's Castro, Martinez, Corcoran, Pena, Chris Carter entering today with 92 strikeouts. That leads Major League Baseball. He had a tough night last night. A lot of sliders away. Look for that tonight to Carter. And it's Dominguez, Barnes, and Gonzalez rounding out the 9 for the Astros. For Bonderman, take a look at his 9-year career. 68 and 78, 4.91 ERA over his career.
Down low to Jason Castro. If you're a Mariner fan, you're hoping that the veteran Jeremy Bonderman can do the same thing the veteran Aaron Harang did to this young Houston Astro ball club. Harang rang up 10 Ks, no walks. And this one's well stroked deep center field, but Saunders gets under for out number 2. Harang just played with and did a great job painting that outside corner.
Well, commanding the fastball is a big key. As we take a look at the rest of the T-Mobile defense tonight, Bay getting the start in left field, Saunders in center, Indeed Chavez is in right, Kyle Seager at third, Ryan and Franklin playing up the middle, Alex Liddy at first. Morales still having issues with his back, so he is out tonight. Mike Zunino, first major league start behind the plate tonight. Yeah, I think that you look at Harang last night, pretty good blueprint for Jeremy Bonderman if he can command his fastball. That's what Harang did, and eventually started working in the off-speed pitches, but his fastball command last night was excellent.
The other thing they have working for him, this team does not walk a lot. Just 166 walks. They've struck out 623 times. It's the most in the American League. Some of the fewest walks in the American League is Martinez in an 0-2 hole. Good job by Bonderman. He was great against the Yankees.
Well, he was much better. 6 innings pitched for him, just gave up 1 earned run. 3 hits over the 6 innings. I thought he had an excellent breaking ball. His fastball command wasn't with him early in the game, but eventually he was able to figure that end of it out and made it look fairly easy.
He had that first inning, sort of like what he had in Minnesota. Actually, Minnesota had the good first inning, and then it got rough after that in the second inning. That's
right. He threw a lot of pitches against the Yankees in the first 2 innings and then settled down.
0-2. We'll play umpire tonight. Chad Fairchild. Jeff Kellogg's got first base. Eric Cooper at second. Paul Schreiber at third.
There you go. 97 pitches over the 6 innings that he pitched.
Center field again for Saunders. He's got plenty of room. Has it measured. Makes the catch. And Bonderman off to a great start. A 10-pitch first inning here at Safeco Field. Glad you're with us as the Mariners look to tag a 7th consecutive loss on the Houston Astros. Mariners coming to bat. Andy Chavez coming off a 2-for-4, 2-run scored performance last night. He's going to lead it off for the Mariners tonight. He shares the team leading in batting average with Kendrys Morales. Here's the rest of the lineup.
Brought to you by Chevron. Following Chavez, it'll be Jason Bay, then Kyle Seager. Kyle starting another hitting streak last night. He had a base hit. Ibanez, he has been on fire. 13 home runs for the cleanup hitter. Franklin Zunino making his major league debut. He will hit 6, and then Saunders, Ryan, and Liddy rounding out the 9. For the Mariners, and for Jordan Lyles, you can see what he's done. 3-1 ERA, just over 4, 31 strikeouts to 14 walks. Has a good fastball. He'll be in that 92 to 93 mile an hour range. At times he can touch 95. We'll use a curveball to the left-handers, a slider to the righties. First round pick of the Astros, 22 years old, started the year in AAA.
Third baseman Dominguez throws out Andy Chavez, 1 out. How about the Mariners tonight, starting 5 guys who started the season in the starting lineup at Tacoma. Chavez, Franklin, Zunino, Liddy, and Bonderman. The injuries, they continue to mount for the Mariners. Mike Morse needed tonight off. Franklin Gutierrez sent out on a rehab assignment. Smoke will be sent out tomorrow. You got Morales with the bad back. And Sucre on the DL. We talked about him earlier. Necessitated Zunino's call-up.
Morris with his quad. A lot of stuff going on with this club, but they're certainly far from being healthy. The good news is they get tomorrow off. It'll be a travel day for them, and then when they come home, they have a couple of scheduled off days. So hopefully that will help them and also give the bullpen a rest. Great thing about Aaron Harang yesterday, able to shut the bullpen down, give those guys the night off.
Outside to Jason Bay, 2 balls, 1 strike. Aaron Harang, fine work last night against these Astros. Second shutout, second complete game, career 8th shutout, 15th career complete game.
Only 2 hits last night. Again, his fastball command was brilliant. Was able to expand the zone on the Astros, a young club that will swing a bunch of free swingers, and he took advantage of that.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Bay's gone, 2 outs.
Let's take a look at the T-Mobile defense for the Astros. Chris Carter in left field. Barnes can go get it. He's in center. Martinez the right fielder tonight. On the infield, Dominguez is a good fielding third baseman. Gonzalez and Altuve playing up the middle. The veteran Carlos Pena will be at first, and Carlos Corcoran will do the catching tonight. Switch hitting catcher. Off to a good start for the Astros, hitting .338 overall for the catcher.
Kyle Seager, the hitter. Looks at strike 1. Two for 9 in the series. Rocket single off the right field fence yesterday, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Eduardo Perez, a bench coach, saw him, former Mariner. Very like a new gig after coming out of TV. Love it. Absolutely loves working with Bo Porter. There's Bo. I said, your defense, what's up with your defense? It's terrible. He says, I'm telling you, it's going to get straightened out here tonight. He was still angry after what happened last evening.
Well, and last night was more fundamental mistakes on the defense. Just the relays throws in from the outfield, and for the infielders not to knock the ball down. It's one thing if you don't catch it cleanly, but not to have a body in front of it and knock it down. That is something that just can't happen at this level, and they know better than that. So that's something that I'm sure Bo was not happy about. Guys are going to make physical mistakes, but the mental mistakes, you have to get on those right away. Last night was not a good night for the Astros.
2-2 to Seager, swings and miss, tag applied by Corcoran. That'll do it. So both pitchers off to fine starts here in Seattle. Inning number 2 coming up. As we go to the second inning, see history in the remaking Saturday, June 29th. Mariners and Cubs rolled back the hands of time to the early 1800s and turned back the clock day. And both teams are going to wear jerseys from the turn of the century. Plus, the first 20,000 fans are going to get a collectible poster thanks to Seattle Magazine. It's going to be a game for the ages, so get your tickets right now for Turn Back the Clock Day at Mariners.com. Both pitchers off the fine starts, Jeremy Bundeman and Jordan Lyles. Carlos Corcoran, Carlos Pena, Chris Carter here in the second. Dan Wilson joins us right now. Dan, good to see you.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
A little bit surprised to see you on a Wednesday, Dan. Usually Tuesday is your night.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a conflict last night, so it's nice to be here tonight. Guys get one more game here before you guys hit the road.
Nice to have you tonight with Mike Zunino making his first major league start here tonight.
Yeah,
Things went well in the first inning.
Yeah, he looks good. Looks comfortable back there. I think obviously there's lots probably going through his head right now. It's just, as you remember, Mike, that anything that's a first in the big leagues is a big deal, but he's handling it very well.
I would assume that Eric Wedge and his staff and Jack Zarenzik, it's no accident that Zunino, even though he was here last night, getting his first start with Bonderman on the mound, somebody he's familiar with.
Yeah, I think that's going to help a lot. He's had a chance to catch him a lot in Tacoma prior to coming up here, and so he feels comfortable with Jeremy. And I think that's really one of the hurdles he's going to have, is getting to learn his pitching staff and learn the starters and the relievers and the roles they play. I mean, that as a catcher is so important to learn those things, and with experience it'll come, but that's going to be his biggest chore, and to have Jeremy out there tonight, that's going to be very helpful.
Oh, 2 strikes to Carlos Corcoran. Off the fist, popped up. Ryan will take care of it.
That's an interesting point that you bring up, though, because when you think about the relievers and the other starters and all the stuff that he has on his plate, which is the biggest part, probably the most important part, is what he does behind the plate. I know everybody wants to talk about his offense because he has some power, but when you talk about that, is that a situation where he gets a book? Does he get video? Does he just have to spend time talking to these guys? How does it work?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of all that, probably. Chance, I'm sure, being down in Tacoma, he's probably got a chance to watch these guys a lot on TV, so he's probably got an idea. He had a chance to catch him down in spring training, so that's helpful as well. But again, it's probably more just talking with guys, and that's what you do. You spend time out in the outfield during batting practice, shagging balls, kind of saddle up next to a pitcher and just start talking with him and talking to him about his tendencies and what he likes to do, and those are the things that he's going to do here over the next several weeks to really understand these guys and really understand their roles. And I think what's great about Mike is his mental makeup. He's an intelligent kid, and he's a kid who's very eager to learn, and I think he's going to take this stuff on. He's mature beyond his 22 years, that's for sure.
When you say he looks comfortable behind the plate, can you expand on that? High pop. Taking a look is Liddy. Does not have a play.
Yeah, a couple things you look for. I think he's just comfortable in terms of, sometimes when a catcher's not feeling comfortable back there, you see the kind of jabbing at the pitches with his glove. But Mike is real soft with his hands. He's real comfortable back there. He's able to relax and let that ball come to him rather than he's trying to jab at it. He looks very comfortable in his stance. I mean, there's a lot of things that tell he's got that nice low stance, nice low target.
Said to have a very good throwing arm as well.
You didn't get to see a lot of him in spring training, did you?
No, I didn't get a chance to see him, I think, in one start. But, again, down there, not a lot of running going on. But he looked very good receiving down there. And obviously, what he can do with the bat is tremendous. But you're right, Mike. The priority is what you can do behind the plate for a catcher.
Pop up. This one will get out of play.
I made the comment last night, and I think that you would agree with it. And that is, there's obviously, you have a guy that's a #1 pick and coming with all the fanfare that he has had, and now that he's here, I think that we all have to be patient with him, though, and give him a chance to play a little bit before we make any judgments on him.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's going 5 for 4 tonight, that's for sure.
1-2. Did he go? Did not, says Paul Schreiber. 2-2. Bonderman has retired the first 4 men that he's faced. Last night, Harang did not allow a runner in scoring position. 2 singles by J.D. Martinez. The only hits in the ball game last night. Mariners went 1 for 4 runners in scoring position. 2-2. Full count now.
You made all the steps on your way to the big leagues, right?
Yeah.
A ball, double A, triple A, that whole thing. It's amazing, though, isn't it? Even with that experience, how much more you learn once you actually get to this level. The amount of information for one, especially in today's game.
Payoff pitch here. Swing and a miss. Bonderman with his first strikeout. 2 out, 2 in the second inning.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, the amount of information you've got, the amount of video capabilities you've got. Little change up there from Bonderman. It's like a fastball, maybe. Good movement on that pitch.
Good two-seamer.
Danny, what was some of the stuff that you did learn? I mean, to be specific about once you learn a lot, and then now you're here. What is some of that stuff that you learned? We'll get to that after this. I should have never asked the 2-out question. I know better than that. Ryan fields the ground out. We'll get a chance to see Mike Zunino when we come back. He'll score here in the second inning. It'll be Raul Ibanez, Nick Franklin, and Mike Zunino. Raul, the home run leader on the ball club with 13.
It's amazing, isn't it, Dan? 13 home runs. Wow. 41 years old. You still have a chance, Dan. You're in great shape. You still have a chance. We're always telling you.
That's funny.
1-1 Raul. The fact that he went opposite field with that ball last night.
And it didn't just crawl over
That's
either.
Right.
He hit it out there, Dan, in the Mariners bullpen. It was a fastball out over the plate and crushed it going the other way.
Well,
so it wasn't cheap.
That's to me the thing. That he is so strong still at this age, and that's the part for me. He just can really muscle a baseball.
Strikes out here, 1 down in the second inning. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Jordan Lyles. Take a look at our Wendy's now. That's better. Aaron Harang, the 27th against San Diego, 4-hit shutout, 8 Ks, under 22 pitches, and another fine performance last night. There's Aaron.
I thought it was funny last night. Saves the bullpen, gives him a night off, and they hit him in the head with one of those Gatorade coolers. Did you see that?
Yes.
Those things aren't soft either.
No. They need to work on that. Took one in the back of the head.
play 0-2.
Well, that was a great shot in the dugout. They just showed Raul, and what is he doing? He's over talking to Michael Saunders, giving him a scouting report on the pitches that he just saw, even though he was a strikeout victim his first time up, going to give that information.
And that's actually the guy you want to talk to, the guy that had a tough at bat, because he's going to be able to give you everything he's got.
This one's going to get down, a base hit for Nick Franklin. And that sets it up for Mike Zunino in his first big league at bat. Mariners' #1 pick from just a year ago. What a process. College World Series draft. Couple stops in the minor league. Bang, you're in the big leagues, kid. We need you. Go get him.
Swing hard at the first pitch.
Amen.
Let it go.
I tell you, and to that point, Mike, good batting practice. Saw him hit one off the Jackie Robinson sign off the facing of the upper deck.
He's a strong man.
He did get it loose first pitch.
It's all right.
I like it. First hit of the ball game.
I think sometimes, Dan, the best thing about first is getting them out of the way.
Oh, yeah, and there's no question about that.
0-1 to Zunino. Outside for ball 1-1. Zunino at Tacoma, 238, 11 home runs and 43 runs batted in. 47 games. Fouled it off.
Like good two-seam fastball just off the plate inside. Fouled it off his back foot.
One and two to Zunino. 2-2. People are hanging on his every pitch. Well, it is a struggle for the Mariners, last in the American League and hitting at 238. Any kind of lift is going to be warmly received. Back safely, Franklin. 2 out of 3 in base stealing. Greg Dobbs, the only Mariner to hit a home run in his first at bat. Bouncing ball goes foul.
It's a breaking ball. It's up and away from him. It's off the end of the bat. Reports are that he struggled with that pitch in Tacoma and was starting to make the adjustment just before he was called up. Dan, nothing unusual about that.
No, that would. Looks like they kind of started him out with a couple of fastballs in, fastball away, and they went to the breaking ball. I'll be curious to see what they go with here.
2-2 to Mike Zunino in his first major league at bat. Strikes him out. For Lyles, his 4th strikeout. For 2 down now here in the second.
Well, Lyles again, a #1 pick, 22 years old. Looks like he has pretty good stuff. Some life to his fastball. This is a good curveball. 12-6 curveball. Just buries it out there on top of the plate. Seen a good slider from him. Looks like he has good command of his fastball. They like him a lot. They think he's a big part of their future moving forward.
And so far tonight, looks like that curveball is a pretty good strikeout pitch for him. He got bait with it earlier. It's a good, even to the right-handers, it's got some good bite down.
See if Michael Saunders can get on track. Oh, for his last 13, hasn't had a hit since that single in the 14th inning in Wednesday's epic scored on the Seager salami.
Well, you just keep looking for positives, and last night he had a couple of good at bats. One of them, he ended up with a sacrifice fly on a ball that he drove to the fence in left field, stayed on a fastball running away from him. Just try to find some signs of him getting some life back into this offense. He's Talked about it a lot, Danny, with all the different things that he can do just because he's such a good athlete. They need him to swing the bat a lot better, and he's been struggling lately.
Coaching staff's puzzled by it, too. 2-0, good count for him. 3-0.
I think it's only natural. You look at the year that he put together last year, made some big strides. 19 home runs, led the club in stolen bases. You expect for him to take another step forward, Dan, but sometimes it doesn't always work that way. And I think, again, he was off to a good start, ran into the wall, went on the DL. He just hasn't been the same since.
Pitch walk.
That was a tough break for him because you're right, Mike. He was really starting to take off, swinging the bat really well, doing a lot of things on the bases, making things happen, and then he hits the wall, and things have not been the same since. So yeah, I mean, that's a tough break when you're in that, when you're in the flow and your things are going well. To take that stop, take that 2-week break, and then have to try to get back into it. It's tough,
especially if it's an injury where you can't do anything, and that was the case with his shoulder. He wasn't able to do anything at all. Here's a hot hitter. Brendan Ryan's been swinging the bat well. Good to see. He's had a good at bat last night. It won't show up on your scorecard, but with a runner on second, nobody out. Did a good job hitting the ball to the right side, moving the runner up.
Swing and a miss by Brendan Ryan. 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Early threat here in the second inning by the Mariners. Couple of men on, 2 outs. Jordan Lyles has struck out 4 so far. Jeremy Bonderman has retired the first 6 men that he's faced. Pitches. Ryan's gone. Mariners are done. They strand 2 in the second. No score here at Safeco Field. Fine beginning for Jeremy Bonderman. He's retired the first 6 men that he's faced here in the Astros lineup. He looks at the bottom third coming up here. Dominguez, Barnes, and Gonzalez here in the 3rd inning. Meanwhile, Jordan Lyles has struck out 5 already. Bonderman's got 1 K. Here's Dominguez, the third baseman. Danny, I want to get back to the point we were trying to make after the end of the second inning. You guys talked about stuff that you learned once you got here. You learn a lot en route, and now you get to the top, you get to the show. What are some things that you learned that that you probably, nobody, handed you a book to say, hey, look for this. I mean, you had experience.
Yeah, a lot of it's experience, but you do, especially in that catcher position where you're trying to call ball games, you learn a lot of things about your opponents. You learn hitters, certain hitters in the league. You especially learn the veteran hitters, the guys that are in the middle of the lineups. Those are the guys that are going to beat you. They're going to drive the runs, and you want to figure out how to pitch those guys. You learn certain ballparks. You go into Fenway Park, and you might want to approach a guy a little bit different because of that short wall and left. So there's a lot of things that you just can't teach in the minor leagues, and that's what happens when you get up here.
Drive to left center field. Jason Bay's got it for the out. And then you also rely a lot of communication, veteran catchers, guys, other veterans on the ball club. Right?
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of catching with guys like Joe Oliver in Cincinnati, and he was a little bit older, had a lot of experience, and so I was able to learn a lot from him, and he was great about sharing information and talking about it. Had some great guys here in Seattle that I was able to catch with, and I think for a young player, and Mike, I know you agree with this, you always are learning this game, and you have to take that mindset that you continue to learn all the way through your career.
This one hit well by Brendan Barnes into the gap. One hop on the track. Chavez retrieves, and he gets it back in, stopping with the double. His 8th of the year is Brendan Barnes. First hit by Houston.
Well, he just jumps on a first pitch fastball. Looks like it's in the middle of the plate, and it is. Good swing by Barnes, hitting out to right center. I thought one of the things that you were extraordinary at, Dan, when you first came was biting your lower lip. You want to talk about learning quickly, Dave? This guy and having Lou Piniella as your manager, there were a few demands made on your catcher. How do we talk about that?
Good stuff, huh?
I
used to feel so bad for him.
Right, and it sounds like the kind of stuff that was repeated often, right?
Yeah. Some sleepless nights. There's no question about that.
There's Marwin Gonzalez, the shortstop. Well, I knew Lou was never fond of pitchers. What, are you going to tell me he liked catchers less?
No, young catchers.
Just the young ones.
There you go.
It's funny because I know myself. I've been called into the office a few times with him. And the interesting thing about it, though, is he makes his point, maybe not the way that you want to hear it at the time, but then he puts it past him and moves forward. And typically you learn a lot from the things that he's saying to you once you get past him jumping on you right here and now. Wouldn't you agree with that, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really the nature of and the reason behind what he's doing.
Down the line, that is going to get fouled.
Sometimes I think you're right. It's hard to hear at the time, but there is a lot of truth to what he's saying, and it makes you a better ball player in the long run. And I think that's the one thing that I learned, as your career went on and you started to play for other managers as well. It's one of the things I learned to appreciate about him is you always knew where you stood. There was no question about that. He would let you know where you stood, and then, like you said, he would move on. He wouldn't hold a grudge. He'd say it, and let's go out there and get him.
2-1 pitch here. Hit well. Right center field. Chavez is on the spot. Gets it in. Here's his throw to third. It'll be late. Tagging on the throw was Barnes. 2 outs. Here in the 3rd inning.
I used to laugh, though. Then he would come in off the field. The other team, whoever it was, just hit a 3-run home run, and Lou would be beside himself, getting on Danny about calling that breaking ball. You turn around, you look at the diamond vision, and there's just a cement mixer right in the middle of the plate. I sit down there thinking, just one time I want Danny to go, you know what? I didn't ask him to hang it in the middle of the plate.
Altuve.
I'll tell you this, though. Once you weather that storm, you won't find a more loyal guy than Lou Piniella.
Absolutely not.
Strike one to Jose. Popped up to the first baseman Alex Liddy, his first time up. Well, and the other thing was really cool from listening to you guys and being around you guys all these years now. I mean, Lou's had an impact on you guys, for life, and it's stuff that you guys cherish.
Well, I know for myself, it's, at one point I suffered a really bad knee injury and I couldn't find a job, and a lot of that you had to pass physicals and do things. I wasn't able to do it, and I was out of work, and it was Lou Piniella that gave me a job and an opportunity to extend my career for another 3-4 years. and it was because of playing for him before and doing a good job, and he's that kind of guy. So, and also gave me my first real opportunity to play, and I always appreciate that.
Yeah, and then same for me. You know, I was a kid coming up at Cincinnati. I had a chance to play for him in a September call-up in 1992 of September, and that's where I had the first chance to meet Lou. And then when he came over here, it was a big trade, and that gave me my opportunity, something I'm very grateful for.
Right, great call. It's the #1 hitter for the Astros ball club, HOU AT SEA. Dangerous little second baseman. They caught him looking, stranding a runner at third. No score. It's Safeco Field. Brought to you by Sterling Bank. Nobody works harder for you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. By Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today. Fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Mazda, we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, joined by Dan Wilson in the booth tonight. Here's Alex Liddy. 1-0 pitch. Bouncing ball to the second baseman, Altuve. Back to the top of the order. Going to bring up Endy Chavez. Chavez ground out to third his first time. Lyles off to a good start, fellas. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, giving up just 1 hit. Mariners looking for the first sweep of the season and looking to go 6-4 in this homestand. Go to Oakland and Anaheim on this next road trip. 3 in Oakland, 4 in Anaheim, and then right back here for Oakland for 3, Pittsburgh for 2, and the Cubbies for 3. That'll wrap up the month of June. Good news for the club. They have 2 days off in that final week of the month here at home. Oh, Andy looked bad on that one. Strikeout number 6. We're only in the 3rd inning. Quick 2 outs in the 3rd.
I think there's a lot to like about this kid, Dan. Look at Lyles and the stuff that he has. The guys are going to get a chance to go through the lineup for their second time and make an adjustment now. But good movement on his fastball. Good curveball and a slider. Haven't seen much out of his changeup yet, but I like what I can see why the Astros like him.
Yeah, he's got there's a slider right there. Get ahead. But you're right. I like that curveball. It's a biter. It's a late breaker. It looks like.
Works quickly. Jason Bay struck out in a 2-2 pitch his first time. One and two. One-two pitch. Worked inside and missed. Come on, Bay. 2-2. One hit for the Mariners, a one-out single by Nick Franklin in the second inning. A double by Barnes in the third. The only hit for Houston. 2-2. No count now. Kyle Seager awaits. Very comfortable night here. 63 degrees. Wind out of the southwest at just a mile an hour. Very little flag movement out there. Pitch. Hit down to the third baseman, gobbled up by Dominguez. And pulling Pena off the bag. So the Mariners have a two-out base runner. 8-5. And for Dominguez, his 8th error this season.
Well, the Mariners were able to take advantage of a couple of errors in last night's ball game. Maybe they can do the same thing here. Routine ground ball. Dominguez just want to get rid of it quickly and pulls Pena off the bag.
I think he might have served himself a little bit better, Blow, if he'd just taken a little bit, just maybe a tick more to put.
It's time to take that little step, a little crow hop, then get a little something extra on the throw. He would have been okay. I think sometimes, though, you could see him go down to a knee when he was fielding the ground ball, and you panic a little bit. You feel like you have to get rid of it quickly, and I think that cost him.
Bring up Kyle Seager. He struck out in a 2-2 pitch in the first inning. It's been a tough go for the Astros. Look at that. 11 errors over their last 8 games. ERA climbed up near 3 for the starters, and the bullpen ERA just went berserk. Center field popped up. No problem for Barnes. The Mariners get a runner aboard via an error by Dominguez, but it does not hurt Houston. 3 in the books. Scoreless ball game. Question. 57 players have started as catcher for the Mariners. Which position has had the most players start? This discounts DHs and pitchers. So left field catchers are the fewest. So Curtis Wilson going with left field, shortstop, center field, right field.
Well, I would have to go with, it's down to left field and shortstop. I know when you have Junior in the outfield for 10 years and Jay out there for 11 or 12 or whatever it was, that should cover that spot. I'll go with left field.
I'm going to go with left field because we heard talking about Lou Piniella.
Yeah.
One of the things he used to say, if I only had a left field. So that's what I'm going with.
Left field.
All right, I'll ride with you guys on that one. That's now, you guys experience that.
He was so desperate for a left fielder that he even ran me out there a few times.
Look, can you play the outfield, son?
That's what it was. I lied. Yep.
Jason Castro, 1-0 count. 2, 3, and 4 here for the Astros. Castro, Martinez, and Corcoran against Jeremy Bunderman. Bunderman giving up 1 hit, struck out 2. His 3rd start since being called up from Tacoma. To the gap. Chavez has to track it down as Castro DHing tonight. Got a leadoff double. JD is 11th. Make that Jason Castro his 18th double.
Solid line drive. This is a pitch right in the middle of the plate, 89 miles an hour, and Castro hit the ball hard. Just missed the pitches last time up when he flew out to center field, but was able to stay on top of that one and drive it into the gap.
Both hits have been doubles to the right center field gap. Barnes and now Castro. Here's JD Martinez. Oakland Athletics 2-0 on top of the Yankees, bottom of the 3rd in Oakland. Swing and miss. Texas trailing 5-1. Top of the 9th to Cleveland. That's in Texas. Wide open stance here by Martinez. Inside. Astros start tonight 13th in batting average, 12th in runs, 11th in hits, 10th in homers, 10th in stolen bases, 11th in slugging, next to last in on base percentage, and dead last in ERA. Fans are riding with us on a left field on a trivia question. Pulled foul. Two and 2 here to Martinez with Carlos Corcoran on deck. Pitch by Bunderman. Full count. What's happening on Twitter as it regards the Mariners? No surprise here. Zunino and Bunderman, the top 2 items. Making his first big league start, 3rd start of the season for Bunderman, who's on the comeback trail. 3-2. Walked in. First walk issued by Bunderman, and here come the Astros. They have runners at first and second. Their cleanup man, Carlos Corcoran, the catcher, will stand in right now. Another gorgeous night here in Seattle. Aaron Harang last night breezed 2 hours and 15 minutes. Still had lots of daylight left when this game was over. The game last night was over at 9:25. Here's Corcoran. And hard and foul.
Came on as a pinch hitter last night, ended up getting a base hit to left field.
He wasn't messing around either.
No, and I'm a bit surprised that he's not in the lineup more. Switch hitters in 338 with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. And they do have the DH in this league, you know. I realize he's a catcher, but for the Astros, you have to find a way to get a bat like that in your lineup a little bit more. He looks like he can swing.
Saunders can get there. He does. Runners return. There's one out. Bring up Carlos Pena. Bonderman struck him out. 3-2 pitch in the second inning. What's Bonderman shown you guys so far?
I think so far for me, I think he's had the good breaking ball, but more importantly, I think he's had better command of his fastball. His first outing, he really struggled with that in Minnesota. And then in his last outing, he struggled early in the game, eventually found it, but it looks like he's a lot more comfortable, Dan, and is able to locate that fastball.
Yeah, and I like that he's down in the zone. It looked like even his fastball is down in the lower part of the zone. And Bondi's down there with the movement he's got. He's tough to get the ball in the air.
One to Pena. There are his career numbers. That includes tonight's strikeout in the second inning. A lot of bad offensive numbers. Struggling for Houston. Ground ball, Franklin. Gets the front end. That's all they'll get. Nice range by Franklin. 2 outs. Down to third goes Castro. They eliminate J.D. Martinez.
Well, Nick has shown good range, especially to his left. He usually covers the hole in pretty good shape. And this is a tricky hop that he's able to stay with it and gets off a good throw to Brendan Ryan. He's played some solid defense since being called up.
Here's Chris Carter. Started his career as a first baseman, and he has worked extensively with first base coach Dave Clark to improve as an outfielder, and that was a big project in spring training this year with the Astros. Got to a point where he's a little better than serviceable in left field.
Well, he has the pop in their lineup. 13 home runs on the year, and what we saw Aaron Harang do last night was just pitch him away. Good pitch by Bonderman there, Dan, with that breaking ball, and then just start to expand the zone on him.
Absolutely. That's what you learn in a series. You kind of bring that into the one. Sometimes in that last game of the series, you can really get a guy.
Down to Seager. Goes short with Franklin, and that'll do it. Astros mounted a threat and are turned away by the Mariners. Coming up in the Mariners home fourth, Ibanez, Franklin, and Zunino. Field and 21st Century Link. So what's next? Coming up on Friday in Oakland, Joe Saunders against Tommy Malone. Joe Saunders looking for a road win. Tommy Malone has pitched well against Mariners over the last couple of years. You're in the home fourth. Ibanez, Franklin, and Zunino 4, 5, and 6 against Jordan Lyles. Strike one to Raul. Strikeout victim back in the second. Lyles already through 3 innings has struck out 6, walked 1, given up 1 hit. That hit a base hit to left by Nick Franklin in the second inning. One to Raul. Could not check his swing. Ball with 2 strikes.
I got a piece of corporate, and those are the worst ones. Those foul tips in tight. Go to catch the ball, it gets misdirected, and almost always gets you somewhere.
Umpires are really good about letting the catcher catch a blow.
Reach in there and came up underneath, got him on the inside of the leg. Little sting.
1 and 2 to Raul.
See what you missed all those years, Mike?
Yep. Let's see, you caught over 1,100 games for the Mariners, so that's probably about how many times that happened to you, huh?
You have one of those years, I know, talking to, was it Miguel Olivo the last couple of years, it seemed like he went stretches where he got eaten alive over maybe a 5-6 game stretch. It was like everything teed him up.
Yeah, it does seem like it comes in bunches when it comes. I remember getting a lot of foul tips off the mask and getting a sore jaw, and I get several in a row.
Like you're taking like you're in a boxing ring. Man.
Yeah.
3 and 2 to Ibanez. Fouls it off left side. Take a look at our Sterling Big Nobody Works Harder for You. And it features Raul Ibanez, his major league career. Look at this: 1,921 hits, 277 average, 284 home runs. He's the home run leader all time here at Safeco Field. This one goes foul. 1,148 RBI and 402 doubles.
That is a really good career.
Some great numbers.
Third tour of duty with the Mariners. Well, he was cut a couple times by Kansas City earlier on this career. Swing and a miss. 7th strikeout for Jordan Lyles. 1 down here in the 4th. Nick Franklin has the Mariners' only hit.
Really shouldn't be that surprised with Lyles. If you look at his last 5 starts, he's 2-0, but his ERA at 2.05. And in all 5 of those starts, he never gave up more than 2 earned runs in any of them. So he's on a pretty good run right now. He's been pitching well.
Franklin shows bunt, bringing in Dominguez. Strike 1.
He figured something out. He had a game against the Rangers where he went 4 innings and gave up 8 earned runs. They handed it to him, and since then, he's just had it dialed in.
1-1.
.58 pitches, 36 strikes for Lyles.
Franklin gets into one. Right field, deep, down the line. Fair ball off the fence. Nick Franklin with a 1-out double here in the 4th. And for Nick, his 5th 2-base hit since being called up from Tacoma.
He has the 2 hits for the Mariners tonight. Had a base hit to left field his first time up, and this time gets a pitch up in the zone. Looks like a changeup. Elevated changeups usually get hit hard, and this one was down into the corner for a double.
Looked like Lyles chose to double up on that changeup. He threw one the pitch before too, Mike. It was a good run, and that one was down, but this one there was up. Franklin was all over it.
Second big league at bat for Mike Zunino. Strikeout victim first time. Did swing at the first pitch that they saw in the bigs. Swing and a miss. Good wheels at second base with Nick Franklin.
good series of signs they're going with Dan with a runner at second.
It's definitely a sign discussion. I don't know if they thought maybe Franklin was peeking in out there at second base, doing something. Corcoran calls timeout, heads out to the mound just to make sure they're on the same page.
Mariners seeing Jordan Lyles for the very first time. Nino fouls one by Darren Brown. Strike one. One to Zunino. Outside. The outside corner perspective. Zunino an 0-2 hole. He's got a man at second base, one out. Against Jordan Lyles out of Florence, South Carolina. Lives in Hartsville, South Carolina now. 0-2. Back up the middle, first base hit for Mike Zunino. Here comes Franklin. Big stop sign by Darren Brown. Relay throw comes in. And it was way offline, but Mike Zunino gets his first big league hit. And Corcoran throws the ball over to the dugout. So Zunino saluted by the fans here at Safeco Field. First big league knock.
He hits a good pitch, too. This is a breaking ball. It's down and away from him. He stays with it and hits it hard back up the middle. That's pretty good in an 0-2 count. Stay with that pitch and hit it hard. Well located by Lyles, but Zunino stayed with it.
See, from that side angle, Mike did a nice job of staying back on that ball. Saw him swing and miss at a breaking ball to strike out earlier, got out in front, but that time was able to stay back, keep his hands back, drive that ball right back up the middle.
I think sometimes too, his first at bat, he's obviously excited, maybe a little over anxious, Dan, and then all of a sudden you get in a situation to drive in a run. The thing you want to do is at least put it in play, and it looked like he settled down and put a good swing on that pitch.
Assistant head trainer and athletic trainer Rob Nodine in charge of that precious piece of history from Mike Zunino. Here's Saunders. Saunders looks at ball one. He walked on 4 pitches first time. Runners at the corners with one out. Saunders has yet to see a strike.
Well, he had a sacrifice fly in last night's game, hit the ball deep to left field, pick up an RBI.
(2-0), 3-0. Brendan Ryan on deck. Saunders walks for the second consecutive plate appearance. Hadn't seen a strike all night. Here's Tom Glasgow.
Dave, thanks so much from the Ford Sports Desk. News off the field regarding the Mariners today, who announced they've signed 13 of their draft picks. That includes their first-round selection, DJ Peterson, who will begin his professional baseball career with Everett of the Northwest League. The Aqua Sox will open their season on Friday in Spokane. The home opener for the Frogs Monday against the Tri-City Dust Devils. Also headed to Everett, Justin Seeger, Kyle's brother, who is picked by the M's in the 12th round. Let's send it back to Dave and Mike.
All right, thank you, Tom. Bases loaded for Brendan Ryan. One out here in the 4th. Mariners no runs with 3 hits, no errors. Houston no runs, 2 hits and an error. Here's Ryan's numbers with the bases loaded. 2 career salamis for him. Done well, 2 for 3 with 3 runs knocked in so far. Opportunities of knocking here for the Mariners. Franklin at third, Zunino at second, and Saunders at first. Inside to Ryan, ball one. Rhino struck out on 3 pitches to end the second inning.
Looking at the pitches that he was throwing to Saunders and now that first pitch to Ryan, he's staying with his two-seamer, trying to get something with some sink and see if he can get a ground ball. He's looking for a double play here. Brennan's going to have to get him elevated.
Shot foul, 1-1.
A lot of sinkers in, blow breaking balls away, try to get hitter out front.
Roll over on it. Yeah.
Franklin, Zunino, and Saunders, the base runners for the Mariners, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Ryan straight away in the outfield. Time called by Corporate. Porter, tough year for him. First year as a manager, ball club at 22-44. They've lost 6 consecutive ball games. 1-1 to Ryan. Swing and a miss.
Ouch.
Backswing got Cortland was taking a beating, isn't he?
Yeah, look, we saw with Jesus Suke, the backswing can get the hand. This one looks like it got him on top of the helmet or the mask. That's another wake-up call right there.
And that's why they have
Head
that
down.
back plate on the hockey mask. Years ago, they didn't have those when those masks were invented.
Ooh, pretty solid contact, too. He's going to be all right.
Saw a similar thing last night with Castro catching when Raul Ibanez followed through and hit Castro right on top of his hand. Similar to the injury that Sucre. If you take a look at him in that the splint that he has on.
Sucre on the disabled list. One of the hazards of being a catcher. Carlos Trienfeld to your left. Mariners at 238 hitting club, bases loaded. Ryan's got a 1-2 count. And he strikes out. That's strikeout number 8 for Jordan Lyles.
And I think this is his best pitch. When he gets in trouble, he'll go to this curveball. It's another 12-6 curveball. He's just trying to bounce that on the plate and get exactly what happened. Get the hitter to swing and miss. See Brennan out in front, but that's a tough pitch. Well located pitch from Lyles.
Seems to me too, Blow. Looks like Corcoran is setting up right down the middle. Looks like he's trying to throw that ball middle of the plate, but down at the dirt. Sometimes the catcher will shade away, but it looks like he's trying to throw that ball middle of the plate and down in the dirt.
Here's Liddy. Breaking ball pulled foul. Liddy grounded out to second base. Leading off the third inning. Alex, since his call up in his limited playing time, is now 1 for 12. Grand slam against Texas here last year. And he has rarely since that time during his stints here with the Mariners seen fastball since then. 0-1. Fouled off. Inning started with Ibanez striking out. A double by Franklin into the right field corner. Zunino, first big league hit on an 0-2 pitch up the middle. Walk to Saunders. Ryan has struck out. Now Liddy in an 0-2 hold. There's that pitch again. Lyles did a great job getting out of trouble. He struck out 9. We have finished 4 innings. And he is just toying with the Mariners. No score here at Citgo Field. We go to the 5th inning. Time now for AT&T trivia question. 57 players have started as catcher for the Mariners. Which position has had the most players start? We all went with left field. Fans rode with us. Survey says. Good job, fellas.
Right field closer than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Designated hitter with 1 plus plate appearance.
Think of all the years with Jay and then Ichiro.
A lot of guys with just 1 game only out there. Starting pitchers 190. Bottom third of the order for the Astros in the 5th. Dominguez sends one to Saunders on a 1-0 count. 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Bunderman. Good start to the 5th inning. Best of the best, most starts at each position. Dan Wilson, Jamie Moyer, Alvin Davis, Harold Reynolds, Alex Rodriguez, Jim Presley, Raul Jr., Ichiro, and Edgar. Strike 1 to Brandon Barnes. That's that pitch that Harang threw so effectively last night. Miss.
Well, so far Jeremy has done his part. He's given up 2 hits in this game. It was a great opportunity for the Mariners in the last inning. Give them a little bit of run support. Weren't able to do it.
High heat, get him. 3rd strikeout for Bunderman. Quick 2 outs here in the 5th. Friday, the 28th of June, Mariners are saluting the biggest blast in Mariners history. Part of the first fireworks night here at Safeco Field. Comes after the game versus the Cubs. The Mariners are going to put on a post-game show that includes a video and fireworks display that's going to celebrate great Mariner home runs. So you're bound to have a blast. Get your tickets now, Mariners.com. That will be fun. Marwin Gonzalez, the shortstop. Fly to right his first time. Really good work by Bunderman. Gave up a double to Barnes in the 3rd, and a leadoff double in the 4th. Take Castro, and that's it. Way ahead here, 0-2. And Bunderman throws a 1-2-3-5 as Franklin retires Gonzalez. Quick work by Bunderman. He and Lyles locked up in a good one. No score here at Safeco Field. Time for Ask the Booth. There we are above the A at Safeco Field. Ask the Booth. Let's see. Steve Areno, 25-12, wants to know what's the funniest thing Lou Piniella did when you boys were with the Mariners. How much time do you have?
Figure out which ones we can tell.
I was going to say, you know, it's only 8:30, so.
Oh, man.
Andy Chavez, one hop, backhanded by Altuve.
Almost hit it
One
by
out.
him. I think one of my favorite stories, I didn't actually see it, but it's one of my favorite stories that I heard about him, was when he was in Cincinnati. Then Norm, who obviously played for Lou in Cincinnati and Seattle, but he tells the story about Lou was in the dugout, fired up and mad about something that was going on in the game. Went to kick a baseball that was laying on the ground in the dugout. It was a swing and a miss, and he ended up on the ground. Ooh. And he slowly gets up, looks up and down the bench, and everybody's looking away because Lou is mad and they don't want to make him madder. And he looks at them all and says, "You guys don't even know what funny is. You can laugh at that if you want." And he started cracking up laughing about it.
That's very good.
I thought that was perfect, Lou.
Well, I'll tell you, speaking from experience, in Riverfront Stadium, those dugouts, they had those wood slats in there, and they were super slick when they would get wet.
Yeah.
And yeah, he went to kick, and he was parallel, I think, before he hit the ground.
1-2 to Jason Bay.
But I think it says a lot about him being that angry in one instance, and then that happening, which would be embarrassing, and him turn around and just laugh about it. Yeah.
Pena, field that had a lot of English on it. Bay, ooh, he just got him. 2 outs.
I think for me, guys, the tirade he had in Cleveland where he gets thrown out at second base and then has to kick his hat all the way back to the dugout. Finally,
that was one of the best.
That was one of the best tirades I've ever seen. Finally, I think he picked up his hat and threw it up above the dugout into the stands. He'd had enough.
I think he had one of those here too, where he threw first base and started kicking the hat around.
Oh yeah,
he was the best.
A lot of those tirades have made blooper reels all over Major League Baseball. Kyle Seager with 2 outs, nobody on.
And I think sometimes the shame of it is those things they overshadow how brilliant he was as a baseball man. He's something.
Gallo for 2, a strikeout and a fly to center.
Were you at that spring training when he pulled the bus over?
No, I think that was the year before I got there.
It was the first year in Peoria where every day we were on the road is when they were building the complex there. We were coming back and we'd lost I don't know how many in a row, 7, 8, 9 in a row. Spring training. Everybody's trying to figure it out. He pulls the bus over. Some kids playing Little League tells us that we couldn't beat those guys over there.
Nice play, Altuve. Recovers, throws out Seager. Mariners are going 1, 2, 3 in the 5th as we breeze through this game. 6th inning coming up, a scoreless affair. Most score in the 6th. Astros and Mariners. Bunch of zeros on the board. Looking for a last-minute gift for Dad. Then shop at the Father's Day sale going on right now at all Mariners team stores. You're going to find select caps and apparel up to 30% off, plus 50% off select game used memorabilia. You're bound to be find the best perfect gift for Dad. You visit any of the 5 convenient Mariner team store locations. Sale ends on Sunday. I am told Altuve looks at a strike. Longtime baseball fans in Portland may remember this story. I'm told 1967, losing the National Guard, playing for the Portland Beavers, strikes out, goes back to right field. Altuve rolls over one. Ryan throws him out. He's so angry after striking out that he proceeds to kick the fence. They kick the fence and kick the fence. Bang! The fence comes down on him, pinning him. They had to go get him. One out for Jason Castro. I'm sort of rooting for Lou to have made the trip when the Yankees were here last weekend. Another incident, 79. Lou's here with the Yankees as a player and got a little irritated. San Diego Chicken was doing some entertainment while the big basket glove of Mr. Piniella ended up on the side of the head of the San Diego Chicken because he got a little bit on the nerves. He was taunting Piniella and got the reaction. Boom! Throws the glove. 3-0 to Castro. 1 for 2. He draws a walk. That's the second walk issued by Bonderman.
Well, I don't know if you remember this one, if you were with us or not, but we were leaving the ballpark one night late in Kansas City. We played against the Royals. We were heading back to the hotel. And driving through the parking lot, there's 2 fans, and they're rolling around. They're having a fight. And Lou was never afraid to stop the bus, so he tells the bussy to stop and walks out there and breaks up the fight. It was just classic seeing him out there with these 2 guys trying to hold him back from each other. Lou, I'm not really mad at this guy. Are you really Lou Piniella? It was just a great watching that from the back seat of the bus was classic.
He was something. Marty reminds me of the time that we were in Boston. I think you were with us.
Oh yeah.
And Boston at times to get into the airport could be difficult. And
bouncing ball to Seager. Gives grab, quick release. Franklin won. That's nice a nice turn out and did not get him at first.
I'm not sure about that. It looked like a pretty good turn. But Jeff Kellogg, first base umpire, thought that he beat it.
They go around the horn. Boy, Seager, good work there, huh?
Gets rid of it quickly, and so does Franklin. That was close. A lot closer than I thought. But it was great, Lou, from all those battles that he had with the Red Sox, being a Yankee. And we were driving around. And Greg Detweiler, who was our traveling secretary at the time, was having a tough time. And the police wouldn't let us get through the barricades or anything. And then finally Lou stops the buses, walks off the bus. They immediately knew who it was. Right in we went.
I think the line was, "Hey, you're friends with Carl Yastrzemski, aren't you?"
I think it was.
He said, "Yes." Come on through.
That's great.
Carlos Corporate popped to short, fly to center. 2 outs, a man aboard. 2 hits given up by Bonderman. 3rd inning double to Barnes, a 4th inning leadoff double to Castro. That's it. He's walked 2. Martinez in the 4th, and here in the 5th, Castro.
Been pitching 67 pitches so far. Watching Seager over there, Danny. I think all those years of playing second base, he gets rid of the ball so quick.
Yeah.
And gives the second baseman a real good opportunity to try to turn it on a play that normally they wouldn't have a play.
I think not only does he get rid of it quick too, but he gives him a good feed, and from that far of a distance, that's a pretty tough thing to do. He's quick and puts it right where you need to get it to turn it.
He's been a solid player for him. Good player.
Talking on the radio side a little bit before about just how quiet his swing is, and that's why he's been so consistent. He's just got that quiet swing.
Not a lot of moving pieces to it. You know,
inside 3-0.
His timing mechanisms is just a little bit with his front foot to get things started, and everything else is simple, direct to the ball.
Yep.
Count here. Like a strike. 2 outs, 1 on, no score. Mariners left 2 on in the second, 1 in the third, left them loaded in the fourth. The opportunities have been there. Jordan Lyles, right-hander for the Astros, has struck out 9. One pitch. Right back to Bundeman on the line drive. Boy, caught that second breath. Man, that thing a slow line drive, but it got to him and he took care of it. That'll do it for the Astros. Home 6 coming up.
Tom Glasgow with you from the Ford Sports Desk. Next week, the M's have a date with the Angels down in Southern California. Tonight, the Angels in Baltimore. And this thing got busted open in the 7th. Eric Ibar at the plate. Bases juiced. And it's track meet time. Ibar into the gap in right center. 3 will score. Oh, wait a second. Error at third. Make that 4 will score. Ibar on his way home. Angels win at 9-5 to snap a 4-game skid. Let's send it back upstairs to Dave, Mike, and Dan.
All right, Tom, thank you. There's a look at your AOS standings. Texas, second place. Mariners just in front of the Angels. Here's Raul Ibanez. Boys, you've had a good look at through 5 at Jordan Lyles. The Mariners have to get cranking here.
Yeah, I think the one thing that you have to do if you can is try to hit that pitch and stay away from trying to hit his curveball. His curveball has been his best pitch. Raul hit that fastball hard. I think you're better served getting on him early, Danny, than waiting around and let him go into work on that curveball because he has a good one tonight. Good swing from Raul.
Yeah, he really hasn't made many mistakes. Blow made a couple in that 4th inning. Mariners are able to capitalize, get some base runners on, but outside of that, he has used that curveball real effectively down in the strike zone and into the dirt for swinging strikeouts.
I like the progress that Mr. Franklin has made. The progression tonight, single and a double. He's got 2 of the 3 hits against Lyles.
He's pushed his batting average back up to 292 now.
Third hit against Lyles is from Mike Zunino, his first big league hit that came back in the 4th. So a single and a double for Franklin. He doubled back in the 4th. That helped begin a process of loading the bases, but the Mariners got strikeouts of Ryan and Liddy to quell that threat. Franklin and Saunders, the only 2 members of the batting order that have not struck out tonight at the hands of Lyles.
Take a look at the 2 starters tonight. Bonnerman threw 6, only 2 hits. Lyles winning the category with strikeouts 9-3.
Yeah, I think the thing that jumps out to me there, Blow, is 86 pitches for Lyles and only 71 for Bonnerman. They've been swinging early in the count. Bonnie's been taking advantage of it. Lyles has had to throw quite a few pitches, and he's starting to creep up there a little bit. So maybe the Mariners can get into that bullpen quickly.
And we saw the numbers earlier. The bullpen has been struggling lately.
3-1 here to Franklin. Altuve to his right. Goes out the Mariners second baseman, 2 outs. Here's your Mariner calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Day off, travel tomorrow. Bay Area, here we come for 3, Anaheim for 4, and then back home against the A's. So we'll see a lot of them. And the A's, as we speak, top of the 6th at home down in Oakland with a 3-1 lead over the Yankees. Here's Mike Zunino for the 3rd time. Last time up in an 0-2 pitch, singled up the middle. First major league hit. Struck out his first time. Zuno to Zunino. Mariners looking for their first sweep of the season. Going to go 6-4 in this homestand. Feeds on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Two. Counts unfold. Saunders is on deck as Zunino can keep it going. Saunders looking for his first strike tonight. He's walked on 4 pitches twice. Payoff to Zunino. Off speed pitch hit down to the 3rd baseman Dominguez. Throws him out. Mariners go quietly in the 6th. 7th inning coming up. No score. base with incredible savings and freedom of riding Sound Transit. Plan your next trip. Visit soundtransit.org. Great way to get to and from the ballpark. And if you're really good athlete, you can jump on that bad boy and take a ride. God bless. When you're watching movies from the 30s and 40s back in the Depression era, and you see guys jumping on boxcars, like, how the heck did they do that? Out of necessity, I get it, but that's a heck of a gamble.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Carlos Pena, Chris Carter, Matt Dominguez, 5, 6, and 7 against Derby Bonderman, who struck out 3, walked 2, giving up just 2 hits. Shift on against Pena. Fouls first pitch off. Carlos Pena strike out and reached on a fielder's choice. One, 2. Showed you Joe Saunders against Tommy Malone Friday. Second game in Oakland. Felix against A.J. Griffin. And Sunday, Iwakuma against Bartolo Colon. Strike 3 call. No beef offered by Pena. He was sitting on another pitch.
Per usual, those are some good pitching matchups in Oakland.
Yep.
Colon, I was making the comment yesterday, Dan. That guy has just really pitched well this year.
How about that? 7-2 with a 3.14.
Yeah.
And it seems like the heavier he's got, the better he's pitched. Seriously, you look at him. If you were to put a side by side coming down the years, he doesn't throw as hard as he did when you talked about when you played against him.
Yeah, he threw.
He was up 99, 100, right?
Yeah, he was in that area.
But now, I mean, he is pitching, and he's pitching brilliantly, and he's what, 40 years old? Popped up, that'll get out of play.
And in his day, Mike, he was as tough as any with that good fastball. He was tough.
I remember it seemed that he was a little bit of a short armer too.
Yeah.
Cock it behind his ear, almost like a catcher would, and just fire it at you. We were saying upper 90s for sure. But he's still going. 7-1.
Colon's 40 years old. They list him at 5'11", 265. Strike 3 called on Chris Carter. Strikeout number 5 for Bonderman.
Bondi's been taking a page out of Lyle's book there. A couple of good breaking balls for strikeouts blow. He's got good command of everything tonight.
Yeah, again, I think he was fortunate with the Aaron Harang and the way that he pitched last night. He basically, you still have to go out and execute the pitches, but that was a pretty good blueprint that Aaron gave him last night.
Off-speed pitch popped up. Seager takes control. And Bonderman, a very economical inning. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. See if they can get him some runs. No score here at Safeco Field. to you by Washington's Lottery. What happens when you combine trucks with bucks? You get an amazing second chance scratch game. You're going to win a new truck or one of 6 $10,000 cash prizes. Play the Trucks and Bucks second chance scratch drawing from Washington's Lottery today. Visit WALottery.com for details. Nice night. Big cloud formation moving in, but we still got lots of daylight here left. At what's that? 8:53 Pacific time. Michael Saunders maybe gets a strike. Maybe he can lose one out of the yard here. He's walked twice on 4 pitches here tonight.
I like it. Why not?
He and Franklin, the only 2 Mariners who have not struck out tonight. Still hasn't seen a strike.
At the very least, if he gets on, we know he can steal a base. Get himself into scoring position.
1-0 to Michael. How about this? I can't remember the last time I saw a guy 10 straight pitches and hadn't seen a strike.
They haven't been close.
No.
First strike of the night against Michael Saunders. Two-one. Outside Baldo Altuve has been busy tonight. 1 out. Here's Tom Glasgow.
Dave from the Ford Sports Desk. Let's check in on the Tacoma Rainiers. They are in Las Vegas tonight. Dustin Ackley is in left field tonight. And that's the big news out of this game, being led by the Rainiers 8-2. Ackley at the plate 0 for 2, but still hitting .414 with the Rainiers. Franklin Gutierrez on a rehab assignment 1 for 3 tonight. Let's send it back upstairs.
Tom, thank you. Boys, what do you think? You got Ackley in left. It does give the ball club some options.
Well, I think that's the point of it, and I think the other part of it is, quite frankly, Nick Franklin has played well since he's been up here.
Yep.
And Dustin's been swinging the bat down there, so you have to find a spot. And obviously, with the health issues of the outfield for the year so far, trying to get some more bodies that they can put out there. And
we're only at June 12th.
Right, and it's something that Ackley has done in the past. He was a center fielder in college.
Early on in his career, right?
Yeah. So why not?
Jack talked to Jack Swinsky before the game. He was enthusiastic about it, and he was enthusiastic that Mr. Ackley was on board. Didn't even hesitate. I got it, no problem. Be glad to.
Well, and I think the other part of it too, if you're looking at this thing, you have Franklin at second base. He has played well, and I know the organization likes Brad Miller a lot too, who's playing shortstop. So
big thumbs up for Jack on the way he's playing.
Yeah, and so the option for Dustin at this point, I think, is to go to the outfield. And maybe that'll free him up a little bit too. He won't have to work as hard at second base.
Well, you were a guy, Mike, that used to put a lot of gloves into the bag, come out to the ballpark. It gives you a lot of options. It gives a manager a chance. You might prolong your career being able to play another position.
Well, exactly, and I think that's really the goal, is just to get in the lineup where they put you. I think if you have the ability to play a number of different positions, you really don't care. This gives you an option. And it helps the manager out, too, to be able to move some pieces around. If you have a flexible roster up here, it helps him out.
Yeah.
Another guy they moved to the outfield, Stefan Romero, last year's minor league player of the year. He did it at second base last year, but he's a big kid. We saw him briefly down at spring training. He's getting all his work in the outfield now, too. So
well, he had been playing left, and with Dustin going to left, he's moved to right, from what I understand. He's going to right field tonight. But he's a kid, too, where you saw him play some third, play some second, give him some options, and he can hit. Find a place for you to play if you can swing it down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that Romero kid. He can swing the bat.
I saw him a little bit in spring training. Not
Pulled
a lot.
the oblique.
Yeah.
Ryan pulls one foul. I think that was not the next day or within a day or two when he hit the grand slam and had a 3-run homer at 7 RBIs. I was doing basketball. I remember watching that on the computer. It was impressive what he did that night. Ryan's got a 2-2 count. And what, Bays on a 1-year deal, Morrison on a 1-year deal. Full count to Ryan. 1 out, nobody on, 7th inning. Alex Liddy's on deck. Mariners have not had a hit since the 4th inning. And with 1 out, Franklin doubled, Zunino single. Saunders walked to load him up, and then Ryan and Liddy struck out there in the threat. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. That's strikeout number 10 for Jordan Lyles. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
Good news is right now Lyles is 106 pitches. His season high is 110. So this will probably be his last inning.
Liddy ground out to third. He's retired, so are the Mariners. Jordan Lyles becomes the 9th different pitcher to strike out 10 or more Mariners in a ball game, and he's already tied his career high with 10 Ks. Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Jeremy Bunderman and Jordan Lyles, they are hooked up in a scoreless battle as we begin the 8th inning. Brendan Barnes, Marwin Gonzalez, and Jose Altuve, 8-9-1 for the Stros. Barnes tonight, he's got one of the 2 hits. We got a 1-out double in the 3rd. Castro led up leadoff double in the 4th. Good ball and a good one.
I think the impressive thing is to watch him game for game for game, Dan, just continue to improve and be more comfortable. And you look at it right now, 81 pitches. He has been efficient in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being down in the zone, attacking the zone early. 17 first pitch strikes out of 26 hitters.
Two and one.
Mariners do have Oliver Perez getting loose in the bullpen just in case. And it looks like Medina's with him, the right-hander.
2-1 pitch. Ground ball to Ryan. Goes to Liddy for the first out. Coming up next, the Oakland Athletics. Mariners will have tomorrow off and travel to the Bay Area. Joe Saunders, Tommy Malone, Felix against A.J. Griffin, and Iwakuma against Bartolo Colon. 8-2 with a 2.92. But Iwakuma, look at him. Wow. Hands in, who's all in for making him the all-star starter in the American League?
I am. I said that before his last outing, and he was just improved again. So why not?
Yeah, that's amazing to me. Just his consistency. And talk about a guy who pounds the bottom of the zone.
Right. Yeah, he's been fun to watch.
Second to Buchholz, and not by much in ERA. Buchholz leads the American League with a 1.71 ERA. Kuma right behind him, 1.79. Kuma tied at the top of the game start list with 14. Second to Felix in innings pitched. Third in winning percentage. Ground ball foul. Let's see what else. Home earned run average number 1, 0.92. Night earned run average number 1, 155.
No, you can just go through them all.
Holy mackerel. I mean, again, hey, I was wrong. I admit it last year.
Well, we didn't know what he was.
But
nobody did. He sat in the first month. He sat in the bullpen. I think he came out once.
Yeah. He came out once, and a couple of times he came out wasn't particularly effective. Next thing you know, second half of the season, man, this guy's dealing.
Yeah.
He did have a save in a big, was that the 21-run game? The 21-run game that the Mariners had at Texas. He got a save in that one. And then was an extra inning game in Chicago. One of the rare wins in Chicago against the White Sox. Did well in that game.
Well, it didn't take long once he went into the rotation last year, the second half of the season, to figure out this guy can pitch.
Through the 5-hole, Ryan can't get it. Base hit. Windy City is blown the Chicago Cubs west to the Emerald City. Take on the Mariners. Rare interleague matchup here at Safeco Field. 2/28 through the 30th. One unforgettable summer weekend. Mariners are going to celebrate their first fireworks night. That's on Friday the 28th. Then the next day it's turn back the clock day. So get your tickets to see the Mariners and Cubs at mariners.com. Third hit. First non-double for the Astros. Top of the order. And Jose Altuve.
Then we just showed the pitching matchups in Oakland, so we're going out of town, but you're going to be busy on Saturday.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
You ready? Okay, good. Just tell everybody what's going on Saturday here at the ballpark.
Big softball game going on.
Throw down to second. Zunino, great looking throw, no contest. That's a hose, boys and girls. Dan, your thoughts?
Great throw right here by Zunino. Gets the ball in good shape. Pitch it's up and in on Altuve. Maybe a hit and run. Just kind of buckles him. He tries to swing, but great pitch to throw on Zunino. Great exchange out front. Good quick release. Gets the ball down to Franklin. In nice throw right there.
Oh, what a pick. Gold glove quality, baby. Brendan Ryan with the gem to end the 8th inning. How about Zunino? How about Ryan? How about some runs? No scores. We go to the home 8th. Let's take a look at our money tree. in-time play. I tell you what, find me another shortstop who's making this play. This is special. The backhand, had it all away. Good enough athlete to make the spin. Strong throw, inning over. Gorgeous. Mariners will have the top of the order here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Chavez, Bay, and Seager. And the Astros going with the new pitcher, right-hander Hector Ambrose.
And for Ambrose, 30 appearances on the year, a 1-3 record, ERA at a 4.94. Bonus average high, 309 off of him. He's given up 3 home runs this year. I think the most important thing is Lyle's out of the game. The Mariners couldn't get anything going against him, so maybe we'll have better luck against the bullpen.
Got a run or two here. Turn it over to the bartender and get out of here. Here's Chavez. Ball 1.
Well, the Mariners started flashing all that defense, Dan. You were telling us about your event on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday United Way softball event over here at Safeco Field. Should be a great afternoon, a great family event. Got Big J coming out, Edgar, Slick Watts, Gary Payton, Jeff Ament from Pearl Jam. A lot of folks out here to play some softball, benefit youth homelessness. And should be a great way to raise some money, but raise awareness about the issue. Mariners have been very gracious to us, United Way. First pitch about 3:15. Gates will open about 2 o'clock. Sold about 20,000 tickets, Blow. So it's been a
wow, great job.
Very successful.
Congratulations
so far
on that.
Yeah, and if fans want to get it, be a part of it, go to uwkc.org and /softball. You see it down there on the bottom of your screen, and come on out, be a part of it. Support Team Dan. Support with your dollars, and be
Are you going to play?
Fun little twist. I'm going to play, Blow.
Okay, good.
See how it goes.
Heard you caught a break in the draft. They took Brad Adam.
Chavez to the gap, and it's cut off by Carter. Mariners got the base runner they've been looking for. First hit since the 4th inning.
Well, maybe a pitching change is what they needed. Solid base hit by Indy Chavez. He has really played well since being called up from AAA. Leadoff hitter tonight, and he leads off the 8th inning with a solid base hit into left.
That might be the first pitch above the belt they've seen all night, Blow.
I would agree.
Good call.
And in the middle of the plate, too. Well, the Astros expecting the bunt here. Jason Bay hitting second in the lineup. See how Eric Wedge wants to play it.
Bay looking for his first sacrifice of the season. Coming in at third is Dominguez. Shows bunt. Ooh, it hit him. Good grief. Whew.
They're saying that he attempted to bunt it. Now they're going to call it a strike.
What?
Now the first base umpire, Jeff Kellogg, after the home plate umpire, Chad Fairchild, was sending him to first, the first base umpire said that he offered at the pitch. Let's take a look at it. He's going to square around.
Might have a point.
I don't know.
Pitch is bearing down on him. You can see him starting to pull the bat back, trying to get out of the way. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he's offered.
It looks like
as he's pulling it back.
What he's saying is that in the action of pulling it back, it looks like from his angle down at first base.
I don't think it hit the bat. It looked like it hit him on the wrist or the forearm.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that with his movement of the bat from Kellogg's angle at first.
Well, here you go.
On that angle right there, I mean, it stinks that he got hit.
I think he's looking to me like that he's trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying from his angle, you could see how he could make that call.
I think you're right, Dave, but I don't know how else you're going to get the barrel in your hand out of the way.
Absolutely, but it's one of those, one of those things in baseball sometimes, I mean, I hear you.
That's a big break for the Astros right there.
Huge. Could have had first and second, nobody out.
Yep.
Gets the bunt down. Ambrose looks at second and dropped. There's that bad Houston defense again. If the Mariners can take advantage. Bo Porter can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Take a look at it. Ambrose looks, changes his mind, goes back. It's a good throw. And Gonzalez just clanks it out at shortstop. See Indy going in hard with the slide, but still, this is just a catch and get out of the way as it hits him on the heel of his glove.
Boy, that's remarkable. Key now, Mariners got to take advantage. They got the first two men on here in the eighth in a scoreless ball game. Ambrose done. Pitching change when we come back. What's Next by BNSF Railway, the engine that connects us. And by Linwood Honda, experience the difference. Mariners mounting a threat here in the eighth. They left two on in the second, one in the third, left them loaded in the fourth, and here at Safeco Field in the eighth. Nobody out. The first two men have reached, with Kyle Seager, Raul Ibanez, and Nick Franklin still to come.
Well, they'll try to get it done against former Mariner Travis Blackley, now in the bullpen with the Astros, left-hander. A couple of left-handers for the Mariners. Seager and Ibanez due up. 23 appearances for Blackley. 4.57 ERA. 19 strikeouts in 21 2/3, but how about 15 walks? A lot of walks. He's also given up 5 home runs.
You got Andy Chavez at second. Jason Bay at first. Good speed. Kyle Seager 0 for 3. Looking for his first hit tonight. Top RBI man for the Mariners, and the fans here at Safeco Field, 13,823, can sense something building.
Now we'll see how the Astros are going to play. It looks like they're expecting a bunt here.
Seager third on the team in RBIs behind Morales and Ibanez. He's got 30, 35 for Morales, 32 for Raul.
If Kyle was going to bunt, he's bunted firmly towards the third baseman. You want him to come in and field it. Andy can just walk into third.
No sacrifices thus far for Mr. Seager. Big spot in the ball game.
Astros using that spin move, Dan. A lot of times you'll see that just to see if the hitter will tip whether he's going to bunt or not.
Kyle did not give into that. No.
Yeah.
Rich pitch to Seager. High pop, foul territory, right field line. Altuve, what a catch. Here's a throw, hits a cutoff man, 1 out.
I think this comes down to one of your better RBI guys at the plate, so Eric Wood decides to let him hit. And a good play by Altuve. Chavez was tagging, and he took off towards third to see if Altuve, I think if he double clutches or
doesn't turn around quickly. He probably continues to go, but with a strong throw back to the infield to keep him at second.
Pretty good defensive play right there for Altuve. He had a long way to run. He was running hard, then he had to break it down, Blow. That's a tough play for a second baseman.
Not many guys are going to make that.
No, especially when you know you have to turn and spin and get the ball back quickly. So many times guys will start their move back towards the infield, and that's when they'll misplay it. Well, it's done a good job with runners in scoring position. 293 with 3 home runs this year. Well, second on the club in RBIs behind Morales.
So you got Raul tonight with a couple strikeouts and lined out hard to right field. Tom Wilhelmsen is ready in the bullpen. To Raul. Inning started with a base hit by Chavez. He laid down a bunt. Throw by Embrus down to the shortstop, hit him right in the glove, and he dropped it, and everybody was safe. And then a heck of a play by Altuve. A foul pop by Seager. By Corcoran. 2-0. Blackley, the third pitcher, used tonight by Houston. Jordan Lyles, man, he was dominant. 10 strikeouts, a career best. You get Paul Clemens heating up. Presidente. Luis Martinez, bullpen coach out there. 2-0 to Raul. Nick Franklin's on deck. Into one, foul. 2-1.
Gotta love Raul in these situations, Blow. You know you're going to get a great at bat. He's going to be very selective. Saw a fastball up in the zone, and he was ready to jump all over that. Pretty good swing. Just a little bit too high.
In a 2-0 count, gives him the opportunity to be aggressive on that pitch. Oh, leads the club in home runs with 13.
Big spot here for the Mariners. 2-1 count to Raul. 2 on, 1 out. Found back.
Looked like Bo Porter there, Blow, was telling Corcoran to go out to Blackley, change up the signs. And he's been out there for a couple of hitters here, so to be safe, maybe change up the signs, give him a different look.
You're probably right. Veteran in Chavez. I'm sure he's adept at stealing signs if he can get them, and certainly would know how to transfer those signs or pass them on to Raul, who's at the plate. Better to be safe in this situation.
Were you guys good at that? Reading signs from out there, second base?
I could pick them up. I didn't like getting them when I was hitting, though. I couldn't get them early enough, yeah.
There's the key right there. Didn't get them early enough. 2-2 to Raul. Full count.
Little backup breaking ball didn't do much. Just a little spinner. He tried to throw a hard curveball. Maybe slipped out of his hand. There wasn't much bite to that.
See if this is a game-changing pitch here to Raul. 3-2 with 2 men on in a scoreless ball game, bottom of the 8th. Former Mariner Travis Blackley on the line. High fly ball, short right field, foul territory, out of play. Texas has lost 5-2. Athletics lead the Yankees 3-2, bottom 7 in Oakland. Angels 9-5 winners today at Baltimore. Other action in the American League West. Blackley ready. Another 3-2 pitch to Ibanez. Foul.
He's getting some fastballs. The last couple of fastballs are up and in, though borderline pitches. Raul, from what I've seen, especially this year, he likes the ball out over the plate a little bit more. If it's going to be in, he wants it down. Some tough pitches for him to get to, Dan.
Yeah, Blackley trying to keep Raul tied up inside there. A couple of good fastballs, and with his movement, it's going to be running in towards Raul. Let's see if maybe he tries to sneak one away here, Blow, after going in a couple times.
Three and two. Him out. 2 down here in the 8th. Third time Raul's keyed today.
It looks like Blackley goes to the changeup, maybe a breaking ball, the slider away from trying to get the ball away. As you mentioned, Dan, pitches down and away. That looked like a breaking ball, maybe. Raul expecting that fastball after a couple of elevated fastballs up and in, changing his eye level and the speed of it, I think was the difference in that at bat.
Yeah, pretty good job right there. Maybe you got to tip your cap to Blackley right there. A couple good fastballs inside with 2 strikes, and then gives him that little, looked like maybe a cutter or a slider, just kind of down and away, and Raul swung through it.
I'll see if Nick Franklin can be the hero tonight. Nick's had a good night. He's 2 for 3, had a double. Was stranded at second base after a base hit in the second inning, and then at third after his double in the fourth. He's also grounded out to second. Had a good series.
Chad Fairchild breaks it up out there. Out. Quick conference running out is pitching coach Doug Brocail. Fairchild making another walk to hustle him up, and now we're ready to go. Tom Wilhelmsen out in the bullpen just watching. He's ready to go. Get him to run. He's looking to close it out. See if Nick Franklin can come up with a big 2-out RBI. He's got 2 hits tonight. Single, double, and a ground out to second. Chavez, go ahead run. Bay is at first base. Franklin on bat right-handed, first time tonight. Franklin, a .308 hitter right-handed. 4 for 13. It's like Saturday at Municipal Golf. 8-hour round. Ball 1. pitch here to Franklin. Indy, great speed at second base. 1-1. The opportunity certainly is here for the Mariners. And from innings 2, 3, and 4, they left 6 men on. And 2 men on here in the bottom of the 8th. To Franklin. There's the base hit. Here comes Indy. Here comes the throw by Martinez. A point of the plate is in there. 1-0 Mariners. Nick Franklin with a big rippy single here in the 8th inning with 2 outs.
Well, the Mariners dying for somebody to come up with a big base hit for him, and it ends up being Nick Franklin. What a night. 3 for 4 tonight. Drives in the 1 run for the Mariners. Inning started with a solid base hit from Indy Chavez as he comes around to score.
Oh, did they need that?
Now Columbia Bank difference in the game, and it'll be Nick Franklin. Solid base hit. Good hitting there on a fastball that's up on the outside corner. Going with the pitch, hitting it hard into right field. Good approach right there, and then Indy flying.
So a 2-out RBI single by Nick Franklin, sliding home safely Indy Chavez, and the Mariners have a 1-0 lead. Still 2 outs. Runners at first and second. An RBI by Franklin, his 4th of the season. Here's Indy, and he's at full speed. Good job by on-deck hitter Mike Zunino, telling him to get down. A career best 3-hit night for Nick Franklin. He is jacked. 1-0 Mariners. TV celebrates 11 years with new low yearly prices. Watch every out-of-market game live on over 350 supported mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. So Nick Franklin on a 1-1 pitch, singles to right. It scores Indy Chavez. Mariners lead 1-0. Here's Zunino, ball 1 from Paul Clemens. Mike Z with a big base hit in the 4th, his first in the major leagues. 1 for 3 tonight. He's got 2 outs, runners at first and second. Bays down at second, Franklin at first. There's a drive into left field, but it's going to be corralled by Carter. But the good news, the Mariners go to the 9th inning. Time for last call. Tom Wilhelmsen, and a chance to go 6-4 on this homestand and get a sweep. looking at one. 3 outs away as we take a look at our Head and Shoulders pitch sequence. Bonderman against Pena in the 7th.
Well, Bonderman was outstanding in this one tonight. And command of his pitches was the key. This is the best we've seen him. His 3rd start of the year since being called up. But a couple of good fastballs to Pena as he gets ahead of him. And then paints a breaking ball. Good breaking ball right there for a strikeout. 5 strikeouts for Bonderman, that being one of them. And another good breaking ball for him as we look at his line. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, just 3 hits tonight. Did not give up a run, a couple of walks. Dan, 89 pitches and 60 of those for strikes. He was on point tonight.
Yeah, he looked a real strong blow. Kept the ball down in the zone and loved his breaking ball tonight. I thought one of the better ones he's had since getting recalled up here. And boy, I tell you what, to see his progression over the last 3 starts, I guess, now that he's thrown here, he keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I would agree. Take a look at Tom Wilhelmsen. 16 saves on the year, a 2.22 ERA. 21 strikeouts in the 28 in the 3rd innings that he has pitched.
Big Tom's got 2, 3, 4 in the order. Jason Castro to lead off. 1 for 2 with a walk. First pitch, strike on a fastball. Good sign. Next pitch from Tom. Solid base hit up the middle. 2-hit night for Castro. Tying runs aboard. We'll bring up J.D. Martinez, a right fielder. Swing and a miss over Matson on that one. A 1 pitch. Zunino keeps it in front.
Good play by Zunino right there. Looked like he went to reach for it, Mike, and then realized it was going to be in the dirt. So he threw his body down there in front of it.
I'm sure he had a chance to catch Tom in spring training, but he hasn't seen him in a few months, and you forget how good that breaking ball is, how much bite it has to it.
1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to J.D. Martinez. Top of the 9th, 1-0 Mariners. But Nick Franklin found him in the 8th, 2-out single to right that scored Andy Chavez. Two-1. Line drive, base hit. Now here come the Astros. First 2 men have reached.
This is another fastball. It's in the middle of the plate. Martinez going without a stride because of the velocity of the fastball from Tom, and hits it hard into left field.
I bring up Carlos Corpin, the catcher. Popped to short, fly to center, and a comeback line drive to the pitcher Bonderman. Bo Porter's team out in the comeback here in the 9th. Ervis Medina warming up for the Mariners.
Talking about that last inning, the little inside move, and it looked like Corcoran was starting to move like he was going to square around and bunt. Sure, Kyle picked that up on that at 3rd.
Could have been a deep though.
Could have been.
Once it foul,
A little surprised they're running blow. Usually on the road, you're going to try to go for the win. 2 runs as opposed to just the 1.
Corcoran didn't look like he was real comfortable trying to drop a bunt right there.
No sacrifices for Corcoran to this point. Good spot for Tom to work out of 0-1 pitch. Bunt, and it goes to Seager. Double clutch. Nice job by Franklin not to get killed down there. Bunt effective. Runners move up.
Take a look at it. Bunts it firmly like you want to, and I think because it was hit bunt so firm, Kyle decided to field it. Didn't want to take a chance on letting it go. Good play by Franklin over at first. Good news for Tom is he has a couple of hitters coming up that are guys that like to strike out a lot. So Tom looks like they're going to put Pena on and go after Carter, the right-handed hitter.
Get that double play in order. That'll load him up. Carter tonight, ground out. Fielder's choice. Strikeout looking. Second intentional walk issued by Wilhelmsen this season. So here you go. Mariners looking for a double play, ground ball, and get out of it and win this ball game. Got a pinch runner coming out. Trevor Crow. He's going down to second. He'll run for J.D. Martinez.
Well, here you go. We know the scout report on Carter. They're going to pitch him away. For Tom, he's going to have to throw his breaking ball probably right here. So that puts some pressure on Zunino, his first big league game with the bases loaded here, Dan.
Inside. Ball 1. Well, he set up outside, had to come back.
Take a look at this last pitch. Good play.
Looks like maybe there's a cross up there.
Chris Carter's got 4 home runs against the Mariners, 3 here. Line drive. That's going to tie the ball game and more. Over the head of Bay. 2-run score as Chris Carter a 2-run double. 2-1 Houston. Carter 5th double. RBIs 34 and 35.
Well, Tom misses his location on both pitches, wanting to go away from him. The first one was way inside, and this one looks like it's in the middle of the plate. And elevated. Carter hits it hard off the base of the fence. Tom just didn't locate either one of those fastballs down. They tried to stay away from Carter the entire series, and they've been able to do it. The pinch runner Paredes will come on and run for Carter.
You could see Zunino's trying to set up a way to keep that ball away, but you're right, below both those fastballs running in. And Carter is just so strong. He just gets those hands in the way and boy can really drive a ball.
Intentional pass for Dominguez. I'll load him up again, set up the double play. Jose Veras, their closer, warming up for the Astros. Veras with 11 saves leading the way for Houston. Intentional pass to Dominguez. And here comes Eric Wedge. He's coming to get Wilhelmsen. Did not have it tonight. Single, sacrifice, intentional walk, 2-run double, and an intentional walk. The Mariners on the short end right now, 2-1. Randy Chavez scoring that run was a big moment for the Mariners, but now Tom Wilhelmsen did not have a good outing here tonight. Leaves with the bases loaded, 2 runs in, and Yorvis Medina, he's brought on to get final 2 outs and prevent any further damage here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, tough situation, bases loaded with just the 1 out, and he has to come in right away, Dan, and throw some strikes. Got to find a way to get ahead of the hitter, and 20 appearances for him. He's pitched well, a 2.95 ERA for Medina.
Let's go, Medina!
It's a tough situation.
Yeah,
Brandon Barnes going to be 7th hitter.
Yeah, you want to work down here, Blow, and use that breaking ball, that slider, to try to get a ground ball.
Rain is falling here in Seattle. As Medina gets a first pitch strike to Barnes, who's got a double strikeout in the ground.
The roof is on the move. Good looking hat.
Never works, right? Going 2. They're all loaded up. You got Pena, you got Jimmy Paradis, and you got Matt Dominguez on the base paths. Tough go for Tom Wilhelmsen tonight. We need a lot of help. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Mariners in the home 9th. 0-2. Score. Paradis will hold at 3rd. Two-run double.
I don't think so. Bases are still loaded.
1 RBI. Base hit RBI. Boy, oh boy.
It's hit hard again into the gap.
Has the rain effect at this point too?
Well, I don't think that's bothering him yet. It's not raining that hard. I think more than anything in that situation, Medina had an opportunity to maybe throw a pitch or 2 off the plate, Dan, and just didn't do it.
Yeah, fastball. If you're going to run a fastball up there in his eyes, getting off that breaking ball, it's not a bad pitch, but that one caught the plate.
Paid a price for it.
Yeah.
Here's Gonzalez. Got a base hit his last time up. Base is still loaded. A 3 spot on the board here in the 9th for the Astros. This is their 8th man to the plate. Barnes with an RBI, it's 15th. And now Gonzalez, 1-0. Stopped by Zunino.
He's made some good plays behind the plate tonight.
That was a tough one there inside.
It looks quick.
Yeah.
And he's moved both sides. I mean, that one where it handcuffed him earlier in the inning.
Take a look at this move here by Zunino. Fastball down and in, able to get the glove over there, knock that ball down. Good hands, too.
2-0. 3-0.
So Charlie Furbush is getting loose in the pen for the Mariners. Altuve waits on deck.
Tell you what, boys, the 8 runners left on base tonight by the Mariners coming back to haunt them right here. Big time. Left them loaded in the 4th. Left 2 on in the 8th, despite the fact they did get the 1 run. 3-0. There's a strike. Paradis at 3rd. You get Dominguez at 2nd, and Barnes is at 1st. Strike, full count. bigger spots Medina's been in all season. 3-2. Struck him out. What do we need that? 2 outs. This is still loaded.
Just had to go at him. Didn't have much of a choice, and he gets some help by Gonzalez chasing a pitch that would have walked in another run. He'll take it. He knows it. You can see he's angry with himself.
Here's Altuve, free swinger, and he does get his bet on the ball. Tonight he's popped out, struck out looking, grounded out to short. Did that twice. The ball he hit in the 8th inning was a fabulous backhand play by Brendan Ryan to end the inning. And that one gets by. This time 2 runs do score. Motoring all the way to third is Barnes. Houston Astros here in the 9th have blown it wide open, leading 5-1. 2 runs batted in for Altuve. That gives him 26, and now they've batted around here in the 9th. He didn't waste any time.
3 base hits with runners in scoring position for the game, and all 3 of them in this inning.
Boy, oh boy.
When you get another pitching change, it looks like it'll be Charlie Furbush coming into the game.
2-run score there. It's a tough, brutal 9th inning for the Mariners. Runners at the corners, and now down 5-1.
Mariners here in the 9th, now trailing the Astros 5-1. Tom Glasgow with you from the Ford Sports Desk. I can guarantee you a win for the Mariners come Sunday night, I promise. It is Sunday Night Classics. We're going to take you back to one of the all-time great playoff games, baseball history, the 95 ALDS at the Kingdome. I've heard, rumor has it, Edgar did something really important in this baseball game. So be sure and join us on Root Sports, 9 o'clock Sunday evening, Sunday Night Classics. We take you back. Oh, that's right. It was the double. 9 o'clock Sunday night. Mariner Classic Baseball right here on Root Sports. Let's send it back to Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, and Dan Wilson. I believe 2 of those 3 were in that game. I'm not sure which 2.
Yeah, I know where I was.
We were in that game cheering hard for Edgar.
Runners at the corners, 10th man to the plate here for the Astros. Here's Castro, started it off. Runner goes, Altuve on the move. No throw. Stolen base, Altuve. It'll be his 10th. Now runners at second and third, 2 outs. Castro started the inning singling the center against Tom Wilhelmsen. Nice play by Zunino.
Real nice play on this slider from Charlie Furbush, way outside. About the middle of the batter's box for the right-handed hitter. You can see how he uses his hands. He's got great hands, Blow. You know, one thing you look for in a catcher is if he catches the ball cleanly, and he catches the ball cleanly every time.
Well, see that right here. He's done it on the backhanded side, and that to his left.
Anybody got any thoughts on the immediate future of Tom Wilhelms?
Boy, that's a tough one. He's been struggling lately. I think that Eric Wedge will certainly have to address it with Tom. I think Tom, for me, has the best stuff out of that bullpen, and he's been on such a great run until, well, I guess over the last couple of weeks it's been difficult for him.
Minnesota where he walked?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously he had that one blown save in Cleveland where he dropped the ball at first. I don't count that because he pitched well enough to get the save in that one. But yeah, he lost his command, and again tonight some mistakes with his fastball, man, have been difficult.
Yeah, you know, he's a guy that depends on the fastball, but he works off the fastball too, Blow, and when you don't have command of it,
can't get to the good curveball.
Yeah, exactly.
3-1 count here to Castro. Walked in, bases are loaded again. Oh, what an inning. What an inning. Bases are loaded out. Crow came on as a pinch runner. Now he's going to swing the bat here in the 9th inning as the 11th man to the plate.
And the Astros have the bases loaded again. They are 3 for 9 tonight with runners in scoring position.
Well, the Mariners went from the euphoria of having a big 1-0 lead on the RBI by Franklin, and now here's Houston with 5 on the board and threatening to get more. Ball 1.
Charlie's having his command issues now too. 6 pitches, 5 of them for balls. Carl Willis, pitching coach, will come out and have a conversation with Charlie, try to get him in the strike zone.
What's going on out here? That's a rhetorical. You don't have to answer.
Looking at me for the answer. I wish I had it for you, but I don't. Dan?
Nope.
No,
I got nothing. Anybody?
It's tough.
Boy, oh boy. Puzzle. On top of the fact that offensively not much has happened tonight for the Mariners. Here's Crow, the 11th man to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Two and 0. Pressing everybody in the service. Farquhar's up. Long inning. Top of the 9th, 2-0. There's a strike. Crow came on a pinch run for J.D. Martinez, who delivered a single right after Castro's single to get this inning going. Both those runs have scored 3 others. Way outside, 3-1. Bush behind 3-1 to Trevor Crow with the bases loaded, 2 down. Roof is covering this up, raining in Seattle. Strike 3-2. 0-2 pitch. Runners move outside. Walked him in. 6-1.
Back-to-back walks for Charlie. 11 pitches, 8 balls, and then some of those pitches aren't even close to the plate.
Yeah, he's got some that are up in the zone, up out of the zone, down below the zone. Really just telltale signs, but he just doesn't have his release point right now.
Tuve at third, Castro at second, Crow at first. Here's Carlos Corcoran, the catcher, fouling one off. Boy, if you left your TV set after the Mariners took that 1-0 lead, just coming back, we've been watching and we're stunned as you are. Two here, 12th man to the plate, Carlos Corp. Oh-2 pitch. Mariners will have Saunders, Ryan, and Liddy scheduled bottom of the ninth. Saunders 2 walks, 0 for 1. Ryan struck out 3 times. Liddy's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Veras, their closer, he's got 11 saves.
He's ready to lose for a half an hour out there.
At least. Oh, 2 strikes.
Nice job again by Zunino. Get that runner at third base.
2 RBIs by Altuve in this inning. Carter drove in 2. Barnes a run, and RBI on a walk, bases loaded walk by Trevor Crow. Just over the 30-minute mark in this inning, half inning. Strung him out. Damaging inning. 12 men to the plate. 5 hits, 6 runs for the Astros. A 6-1 Houston lead.
Put 6 on the board. They lead 6-1 as we get ready for the Mariners to attempt a rally here at Safeco Field. Tom Glasgow with you from the Ford Sports Desk. A little preview of what we have coming your way on the postgame show. What bullpen options might Eric Wedge have, especially in the closer role right now? We will hear from him and also get reaction from Bill Kruger and Dan Wilson. We'll catch up with Dustin Ackley down in Las Vegas in left field tonight for the Rainiers. And DJ Peterson, the Mariners' first-round draft choice, is signed, sealed, and delivered. We'll hear from him as well.
Here we go. Michael Saunders to lead it off against Paul Clemens. Saunders, Ryan, and Liddy 7-8-9 for the Mariners. Michael tonight a walk and a ground out to second base. Mariners had taken a 1-0 lead in the home eighth and felt good going into the ninth, but Tom Wilhelmsen did not have it tonight. 6 runs, 5 hits. Those aren't his, but 6 runs and 5 hits against Mariner pitcher, and left the bases loaded. Top half of the ninth. High drive, right field. It's going to be covered by Crow. 1 out. I'll bring up Brendan Ryan. 3 strikeouts tonight. Parodies, they have him in right field with Crow in left. Ryan looks at ball 2.
You got this.
Strike to Ryan, 2-1. Popped up. Pena, you can hear somebody telling me you get room, and he does. 2 outs. So 2 outs in the ninth. Brings up Alex Liddy. One. Alex tonight ground out the second, strikeout, and a ground out the third. Mariners have left 8 men on base tonight. 2 in the second. As Liddy into the chest of Dominguez, throws him out, got him. Boys, where's this one rank?
I was just
distasteful losses.
I was just thinking, you know, all the walk-off losses on the road, and then you lose this one at home. Chance to get your first sweep. And the hardest part about all of it for me is the team has struggled to score runs, yeah, but when you lean on your pitching so heavily, Dan, and when it doesn't happen, it doesn't come through, it makes it really difficult for you. And now these guys, they had this game, it looked like it was wrapped up. They've leaned on Tom for good reason. He's been one of the best closers in the game, but he's going through a tough time. And you don't have Stephen Pryor out there who's been on the DL. There's some tough decisions to be made here, I think.
Yeah, you know, for me, it wasted a great outing by Jeremy Bonderman. Threw the ball really well, has continued to throw the ball well here. That's a tough loss any way you slice it. But you're right. I think it would have been nice to give Jeremy a little run support earlier on, kind of open this game up a little bit, but they just weren't able to do it. And then they had to lean on Tom Wilhelmsen late, and Tom just wasn't able to get it done tonight. So it's, yeah, I mean, it's not, there's not one answer to anything.
Boy, I tell you what, big changes got to come. Wouldn't you think? Something's got to happen in terms of the relief corps?
Well, I don't know. I think that we were talking about it, and the option right now, I think, is if this team is going to get things turned around, they have to have Tom closing games for them. But I think that you have to get him to a point where he gets a chance to pitch a little bit and figure out what it is mechanically where he's not commanding his fastball like we're used to seeing and know that he's able to do, Dan. But the tricky part is, what do you do to close the game at that point? Those are the tough things that you have, because you don't have a clear-cut answer to that right now.
Boys, we have a day off, a travel day tomorrow. Brad and Bill, they're standing by. Tough one tonight to swallow, for sure. 6th spot by Houston. My goodness.
Yes, guys, absolutely.